All right, gang. So we are live here in the group. The special training today. Simple strategies to better results. So if you're here watching it live, thank you very much. You can jump on if you're watching this. If you're in the Facebook group and watching this, you can jump on at any time, or you can just catch the replay afterwards. It's going to run maybe about 15 to 20 minutes or so. And it's going to help you. We're going to give you a couple strategies for better business results. So for those of you who don't know me, in Business Inner Circle or in the other Facebook group that you might be seeing this in, my name is Marshall Stern, and basically I'm here. I'm the founder of Business and Life Mastery. It is a coaching program. It is really a way of living, and because I don't believe that businesses necessarily need to be coached. Business owners do, and it's all around their business and their life. So here today, I'm going to go over a couple simple strategies that's going to help you this year. Okay, we're going to get into it. It's some strategies that we're going to be covering in our 8-week program Create, which starts in about a week and a half. Actually, there's a training that starts next week, but the first group program starts in a week and a half, and there's still one spot left. If you're interested, we can chat about that later. Just send me a message. A little bit about me quickly. I have 2 businesses. I have a sign and graphics company called Sandbox Signs. Been in business for 26 years, but I also coach. I have a coaching business, Business and Life Mastery, where I've been coaching other business owners and entrepreneurs for the past 8 years. I also have 2 teenage daughters. And 2 teenage daughters. I don't have 2 teenage daughters. I have 2 teenagers. My son's going to hate me for that. I have 2 teenagers, 1 daughter, 1 son. My daughter's off to college or university in the spring, or Zooming university in the spring. We'll have to see about that. But here we are. So enough about me, because this is all about you and the content. Okay, what a day. Here's what we're going to talk about in the next 15 minutes or so. We're going to cover some of the common struggles well, actually, first of all, for those, there's a few of you on here. Can you guys hear me? Can you just do a little wave? Awesome. Hey, Linda, Christy, Virginia, good to see you guys, gals, and everyone else in Facebook land. So we're going to cover some of the common struggles among business owners. Okay. It's going to be cool. Just wait. We're going to cover the one strategy that can actually change everything for you, and another cool strategy on how to become more focused and more effective. Again, this is the overview of what we're going to talk about today. It's also in our upcoming Create program that is happening in just over a week. And again, there's 1 spot left, but I'm taking a couple strategies, a couple of things that we're talking about in that program. I'm going to just introduce it here, and we're going to go from there, because this is going to help you, whether you want to take the program or not. This is going to help you starting today, if you do the work. So here we are, January 20th, 2021. And, well, we have goals. Some of us have lots of goals. Some of us have goals for the year. Some of us have goals for today or the week. Bottom line is, we all have goals, right? So we started out 2021 like this. Maybe this isn't exactly you, but you get the point. You're all giddy, you're all excited because we got rid of 2020. What a crazy year that was. This year's gonna be different, right? Okay, so that's on January the 1st. This might be more like you now, or maybe not now, maybe in a few weeks. Don't kid yourself. And if it's not, if you're more like that throughout the year, you're probably not here. Awesome. But this is probably more like the way it is for most of us at some point through the year. So does it sound like you? You have specific goals every year, but you struggle to achieve them. Maybe you want to do so much, but you just run out of time and energy. And you're wearing so many hats, too many hats, working way too much in your business while missing out on quality family time or time with your friends where we can see them, or just simply time by ourselves, with ourselves, maybe reading a book. And you're exhausted, tired, spinning your wheels. You've read all the business and the self-development books, or a bunch of them. You've taken online programs, courses, and it's just not getting you anywhere. Does this sound like it? Yeah. It's been me. Maybe we all want different things, right? We all want different things. Some of us want more family time. Maybe that's a goal, right? Maybe we want to travel more with our family when we can, or travel locally, but we just simply want to have more family time. We don't want to be sucked into our business constantly, feeling the struggle of the juggle. We just want to be able to spend some more time with our family. For others, we want more clients, right? More customers. Is that you? Maybe you want both, more family time, more customers. Hey, here's another one. What about me? What about having a little more me time? It's an awesome picture. I wish I was there right now. But seriously, what about me? Me time. Time to read a book, hang out by the lake or the ocean, going for a walk, exercising, taking a personal development course, or listening to an audiobook or a podcast, whatever it is, whatever works for you. Meditating, there's another thing. In the end, we want more time to do any of this and to do everything we want to do. Maybe you want to start another business. Maybe you want just to start another project. Maybe it's not another business. Maybe it's just another project within your business, or transition your business, or expand your business. Whatever it is, we want more time. But there's a problem here, because we start the year off strong, we continue along, and then we hit a point where we start to really struggle. And why is that? What is the reason? A lot of people out there will think, well, it's the pandemic. Easy thing to blame. And for some businesses, yeah, for sure. Trust me, I get it. There's a huge struggle for a lot of industries, a lot of businesses. But there are also a lot of businesses that have had to pivot and adapt and are doing really, really well. So there's an elephant in the room. And that elephant is you. Not that I'm calling you guys really an elephant, but you're the elephant in the room. The point I'm trying to make is we are the problem. We are the reason, in most cases, why we're not achieving what we want to achieve. Because we've been told, in many cases, the wrong information, right? We've been told, have SMART goals. Simple, have SMART goals, that's it. Write it down, get an awesome day timer, day planner. We just talked about that in our group earlier on today, right? It's not so simple, because we're the problem. We, as entrepreneurs, as business owners, we want to do so much, we suffer from that shiny object syndrome. And you know you've heard of it before, because it's true. It's a real thing, right? So what do we do? What do we do? Because it's a real thing. Here's another thing. You might just, if it's not the shiny object syndrome, which is the latest, greatest thing, what about just social media? It happens to all of us, whether it's shiny object syndrome, the new greatest app that's coming out, or the new greatest program that's coming out. It could be anything, right? A video or social media. They're telling you, do this, do that, all the different experts. And I'm not here trying to be an expert. I'm here to give you some strategies that I think will help you. Because the only expert of you is you. Now, I've had experience in business. I've had my ups and downs. I've been through, a couple of recessions, and now going through the pandemic. The distance between what you want and what you get is separated by what you do. And that's what we're here to talk about. We have control over our future. We have control over what we do, how we think, how we respond, what we do. So finally, you're saying, okay, where's the strategy? Give it to me. Here's the first strategy. We all talk about goals, right? 2021, this is what I'm going to do. We're going to expansion, more sales. What we don't focus on is the process goals. There's a difference. Most of us focus on the outcome goals. This is what I want. And they leave it at that. These are SMART goals. They're specific, they're measurable, they're attainable, they're relevant, and they're time bound. Perfect, put it in there. Personal or business. Great, that's the outcome goal. The problem is, we're not managing those goals. What are we doing every single day? That's the process goals. So I'm going to give you some examples here. Here's some examples of outcome goals. A basic one, right? Revenue or income goals. I want to achieve so much in revenue. I want to increase my income to X number of dollars. Simple. Profit goals. It's funny enough, most business owners, I shouldn't say most, a lot of business owners, okay, don't look at profit goals. They don't, okay? I was part of a franchise for 11 years. And the franchise system was all about revenue. That's all they ever pushed. Back then in the day, in the 90s, they had a magazine, a monthly magazine that was distributed to everyone in North America, all the franchise operations, the units in North America, and it was like the sales, it was the revenue. And us as the franchisees would look at it and, oh, we're in third, we're in fourth place. But the people that were above us weren't necessarily profitable. Again, it's not something that a lot of business owners focus on until it's too late. Expansion goals. Another one, we're going to expand, we're going to franchise, we're going to build a bigger operation, we're going to open a second location, whatever it is. Increase leads from your website. There's an outcome goal that a lot of us want. And some of us actually put it down on paper. I'm going to have, in my business, we are going to have consistently, whatever it is, 30 leads a month, 20 leads a month, 300 leads a month, whatever it is, these are outcome goals. Same thing on the Facebook likes and the followers and Instagram likes and Instagram followers and all that kind of the social media stuff, right? Because we love when we have followers. We love when people are following us because we feel important, don't we? That's an outcome goal. There's nothing wrong with having that as an outcome goal, but we need to be mindful that it's an outcome goal. Same thing with the number of new clients, right? And if you want to build your team, it's all numbers, quantitative. These are outcome goals. They're specific. You can put a date to it. That's fine. You can get there. Building your team, maybe you want to add one new person, or you want to round out your team. Maybe you want to add 3 new people on your team. You want to reorganize the organization. You're going to do this and this by such and such a time. Nothing wrong with that. But how about working less? Right? Spending more time with family or traveling. That's also a little bit of an outcome goal. We're going to talk about that in a second, okay? I threw that in there for a reason, because a lot of times we'll just put it there, I'm going to work less. That's the goal for this year. What about process goals? See, the outcome goals are not completely in our control. The outcome goals are the outcome of what we do each and every day. So instead of just having the outcome goals, and you need to have those outcome goals, you don't have full control over whether you achieve them. Because there's outside influences, there's things that happen. You really don't, you might say you want to have 10 new clients this month. You don't have complete control. If you did, I wouldn't be here, you wouldn't be here, none of us would be here, because we'd just be doing it, it'd be great. What we can control and it will help us achieve the outcome goal, is what we do. And that's the process goals. That's things like the number of prospects or the number of clients that we contact, reach out to, engage with each and every day or each week. Getting into the community, right? Building our brand, doing the different things. The number of social media posts we make each day, each week, each month, where we post them. Things like ensuring that your website is SEO optimized, right? SEO stands for search engine optimization. So if you want to have more leads, that's great to say that. Well, how are you going to get those leads? Right? That's a complete outcome goal of wanting more leads, but what are you going to do for it? Hire someone who specializes in SEO optimization for websites. Bring them on, let them do the work for you. I highly recommend that, actually. That's for another conversation. Highly recommend that you don't take that on yourself, because it's a lose-lose game. You're going to spend so much time, unless that is your business, optimizing websites, unless you're an expert in it, you're going to spend way too much time optimizing your website, and you don't really know what you're doing. Most of us don't know what we're doing when it comes to that, because the experts write blogs, they write keywords, they know what they're doing. That's going to get your website ranked higher and seen. Of course, number of client appointments per week, which is a result of the number of prospects, or clients that we're actually contacting each and every day, each week. So how many appointments we actually have, whether it's in person, we can do that, or Zoom, or how many clients come into our business, right? We have a little more control over the ones where not necessarily coming into our business, but that we're going to see, depending on the business, especially if you're in a B2B environment. You have more control over your client appointments. Not 100%, but your prospect and the contact or the client outreach, 100% in your control. Doesn't mean you're necessarily going to be on the phone with them that day, but an outreach might be an email, a messenger post, or a text, right? Or a phone message. The point is, it's in your full control. The more you do that, and the more you're consistent on doing that, the more you will get closer to your outcome goals. There's other things involved, and we're going to go deeper into it into the program, the Create program, but this just gives you a starting point. And of course, the amount of time that you spend working on versus in, you have control over that. You really, really do. And the more you work on your business, the more you are strategic and you're intentional, which we're going to talk about in a second, the more and you work on your mindset. Again, we're going to talk more about that in the Create program, the more you'll get closer to your outcome goals. This is another one, number of hours we spend each day on email. It's a big one, whether it's email or responding to posts or responding to messages or texts, whatever it is. When we're responding, it's someone else's agenda, not ours. We have complete control over that. Complete control. So that brings us to the second strategy. So we've talked a lot about focus and what we're doing each day. So my mentor, I was trained by John Maxwell, one of the big leadership experts in the world, actually, and back in 2011, and 2012 actually. One of his Mr. quote, one of my favorite quotes of his is, "Your success is determined by your daily agenda." I'll repeat that. Your success is determined by your daily agenda. Again, it's what you do. It's where you put your focus. It's about being intentional. It's about time blocking. This is the second strategy I want to talk about. Okay, time blocking. We're going to cover a little bit here. I'm going to show you right over here I just took this from Out of Chaos online, found this online. So it's not mine, it's someone else's, it's an entrepreneur's. Time blocking is huge. Now in Create, we are going to actually talk about it in a little bit different way, a little bit more specific, that's going to work for you and your business. But for this, think about the different areas of your life. And I said life, not just business. So you can see how this person's blocked their time 5 to 7 a.m. for fitness and breakfast. Now, I'm not suggesting you need to get up at 5 a.m. Don't worry about that. I'm not the 5 a.m. club kind of guy. No way. I could see some heads, yeah, some smiles. No, I don't even recommend that. Unless that's your jam, go for it. And the fitness aspect, 7 days of the week, if you can do it, hey, go for it. But the point is, they've blocked that time. And don't even go by the number of hours. This is just the idea of time blocking. You're blocking time for you. Problem is, most people get up, like, I don't know what you guys do. First thing in the morning, you roll out of bed. Are you on this? Are you checking your emails? Are you on social media? Are you seeing what other people are saying? Are you seeing what's happening in the world in the last, 8 hours or so that you've been sleeping? A lot of people do that. Be in control. Take some time for yourself. Grab a cup of coffee or some tea or hot water, whatever's your jam. It's got to work for you. But plus, if you have to take the kids to school, or if you have to get to the office, or if you have to get to an appointment, don't wake up just before you need to go. Don't be so rushed. Plan it. Spend the time. Give yourself an hour, or whatever it is, to just, again, it's going to be different for each of you, of what works for you. Because if it's working for you, that's great. Maybe you can alter and tweak things to make it better so you can be more effective and get more things done that you want to get done. Okay? Give yourself some time. Don't always be rushed. Start the day off on the right foot. And I'll tell you one thing, if you can, if you're the last person, if you have a significant other in the bed with you and you're the last one on the bed, I highly, highly recommend that you might hate me for this, highly recommend you make your bed before you even go out and do the rest of the day. Because it's an accomplishment. But anyways, that's for another subject, another conversation. There is science behind the little accomplishments. So if you can do a little accomplishment, even just making your bed, right, it's a big thing. Start the day off. Point is, start the day off right. But you're going to have it blocked. And this is the way it's going to be pretty much throughout the week. So this person has meetings because it's an international company. So they have their European meetings blocked off for Monday mornings, Thursday mornings, and that's it for their European clients. They may not have a meeting every single Monday and Thursday morning. They might not, but they have a block there. So when someone requests a meeting or they have to schedule a meeting, those are the 2 times available, period. That's it. You get the idea. Same thing, email. Let's go down Monday, email. Schedule time, block time throughout the day for tasks like email, for tasks like responding to other people's agenda, tasks such as the client work, depending on what you're doing. Now, not every business can be built out like this. I get it. If you're in a retail environment, it's a little bit different. If you're in a restaurant environment, it's a little bit different, but you can make it work and block time accordingly. But for a lot of people, they have their schedule and it just ends up getting filled with other people's agendas. And again, if you have a retail business, business to consumer business, and you're having people come in, the objective down the road, really, eventually the objective for all of us should be that we have freedom from it, that we're not necessarily there constantly other people's agenda. Customer service is awesome, okay? But also, you can have other people do it. You need to build the business. So you can block time for maybe supplier meetings, block time for looking, if expansion is one of your goals, maybe block time for the creative side or the productive side, or maybe you're blocking time if it's just for this month. Maybe you need to have a new location by the end of the month. Maybe that's one of your goals for the month. So then you maybe block time 2, 3, or 4 days a week, or maybe it's every day, a certain amount of time for that project. And it could be expansion. Okay, same thing. They've got client work here, personal development, schedule it, block it. Right? For those of you who've been coming to their 11 o'clock Connect and Collaborates, that's part of personal development. It's part of your own creating clients and connections. Schedule it. So you can go, if you're a BNI or another mastermind group, or anything like that, block the time. Client work. If you're in B2B and you have a lot, whether you're a bookkeeper, an accountant in the marketing industry, financial services, even if it's real estate, honestly, block the time. This is what I'm going to do the client work. Tuesday mornings, Tuesday afternoons. You need to block time for the different projects is the point. And you even see here, pottery, dinner's blocked, it's personal, it's very important. Pottery classes, hang out with friends, so on and so forth. And then on Sunday, there's all the personal stuff that's blocked off. Now, the key is when you block time, it might not take you the entire time to finish it. Or for the meeting, let's say with European clients, you might only have one meeting, or you might not have any meetings. And then you have that time that is open. And that's the point when you block time. It doesn't mean you're going to be completely busy that entire block, but now you can actually fill it with other work, or maybe with more me time, or time with your family. There's all sorts of things that you can do. But it's all about being focused, being intentional, and avoiding all the distractions, because when we don't have a schedule like this, when we're not blocking time, we're constantly on the email, we're constantly responding to email or to requests from other people, phone messages, so on and so forth. So schedule it. If you want to know more, if you want to get involved in our program, which starts in a little over a week and a half, February 1st, the first training will actually come out next week. Let me know. Again, we have one spot left. If you have questions, I'd love for you guys to actually put it into the chat. Does anybody have, any of you guys that are watching it live, do you guys have any questions? You can unmute yourself if you do. If not,
I have a question.
Sure.
Yeah, so I think time blocking is great, but you know, my husband's retired, so you know, my day gets kind of scrambled often, just from stuff that pops up. So it can be hard, or a client wants to book during your other time, like, so you're okay to shift that around, I guess, as you need to do. It's like more of a guideline as opposed to
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's no great. Thanks, Linda. Okay. Yeah, I should have mentioned that earlier. Listen, I get it. Life happens, right? It does. It's a guide. It's a guide. But try to keep it as close to it as possible. If things need to move around, definitely personal stuff can happen. You know, move it around, but don't make it. You know, if you can move. If it's constantly happening, then there's a bigger issue, right?
Right. Okay.
Okay. So and boundaries is a big thing as well. So I know a lot of people out there have kids at home. They're whether they're homeschooling or they're at home with Zooming, school Zooming, that kind of stuff. I know distractions happen, family happens, things happen. But if you don't have boundaries, okay, and we're going to talk about it in the Create program. If you don't have boundaries, there's just no. I mean, it's going to drive you crazy, right? And it does. And not just boundaries for other people, boundaries for yourself.
Yeah.
So time blocking, listen, doing a lot if you're working from home, it's another thing. I mean, you might say, oh, okay, if you don't have the point is, if you don't have the time blocked, you're going to avoid doing the important things.
Yes. Yes.
Right. So like in Create, we're going to figure out what it is that we want to achieve, right? Where we want to get to. And the time blocking will help you get there. But if you don't have that, you're going to start you're not going to want to do the prospect calling or the client outreach or connecting with people. You're going to, oh, I'll go, I have so much laundry to do. I might as well just do that because you're at home, right? Why not?
Yeah.
You don't have that boundary of work, home.
Right.
So it's not just the kids or the dog. I mean, my dog, I've told you guys, my dog, I think I've said it before, every time I get on one of these, a training or a call or whatever, and if I'm working from home, you know, my dog likes to come in and look at me and say, hey, it's time, let's go, right? Right. These are boundaries you have to set. It's a little bit harder with a pet, but because they don't really get it, unless they're really well trained, which mine isn't. But there's things you can do, and it's how we look at it all. I guess is the point I'm trying to say. It's a work in progress, right? I told you guys earlier, I've gone through daytimer after daytimer, trying to figure out the perfect system, and there's no perfect system. You have to be the one to find something that works for you. And the problem with the perfect system is it's almost like the shiny object syndrome, because you think, oh, like an agenda or a daytimer, or goal setting a daytimer, that's going to make me achieve my goals. That's going to give me it's the shiny object syndrome. That's going to do it for me because this tells me to write down my 3 goals or my 4 goals or whatever. That means I'm going to achieve it. And we get all excited, right? Same thing with personal, like going to the gym, New Year's resolutions. Hey, I've done it. I've been so stoked, and I go get new runners and a new bag, and I think it's awesome. Bag smells great, and the runners are nice and clean, and this is the year I'm going to do it. And what happens, right? If it's not blocked, if we don't work on the mindset, if we don't know why first of all, listen, this is getting into stuff we're going to talk about in Create, but if we don't know why we want what we want, if we really don't know why, like the deep, deep why of what we want to create, then it's going to be very challenging, number one. Clarity is everything. Clarity is power. I said that to someone yesterday, and I'm using it today. I didn't come up with it. Someone else must have. Clarity is power. So we need to get clear on what it is that we want first. Then we start to do some of these strategies. Listen, strategies don't work unless we do. We have to do the work. If it was easy, I'm going on and I'm preaching on here, sorry, but if it was easy, we'd all be like doing everything we want to do. We'd all have everything we want. Life would be great. I mean, we have the pandemic, but that aside, okay, seriously, that's why if you go into, if you're in Barnes and Noble or here in Canada, Indigo or Chapters or whatever, if you go to the bookstore or on Amazon, if you look at the number of, self-development books and business development books, it's massive.
Yeah.
It's massive.
I know I've got a stack in my house that I've maybe opened, but haven't read.
Yeah. Listen, like my father said to me when I was younger, if you take a course, read a book, go see a speaker, he passed away a long time ago, so before this whole internet stuff, so there's nothing online, but even online, whatever, now you take it online, if you can just go, he would say, there's a lot of information out there. Just take one golden nugget from anything. It's well worth it. The problem is a lot of us think that this book, because this book is going to do it all for me. Or even my Create program, okay? It's going to be 8 weeks. If people sign up for the Create program and think, that's it, I'm good. I'm going to pay the fee, I'm in, everything's going to be awesome. I'm going to create what I want, and life is going to be, I'm going to have the life that I want. And that's a great thing to think, but then don't show up and just expect that it's just going to happen, because it's not, right? I don't know if you ever watched The Secret.
Yeah.
Listen, it was awesome in its time. It was an awesome movie. Problem was, so many people, it didn't go deep enough. It just, because it could only go so far. So people thought you could just manifest your destiny. You can just sit on the curb, think about all the money, visualize all the money coming in, right? Or the vision boards. And vision boards can be really powerful, but they put a vision board together, they put it up, but they're not doing the stuff during the day. They're not doing the little things that are going to get them that house or the car or the money, right? They just think because they thought it, it's in the universe. It will come to me, right? It'd be great if that's the way it was. It's not. What does make a difference is the 6 or 7 inches between our ears.
Yeah, right.
And what we do with that. So, any other questions? So, post questions if you're watching this. If you're watching even the replay of it, post questions in the chat below the video, and we would love to engage in a conversation with you, or any takeaways from this. But seriously, these are just 2 of the strategies that you can do, but you have to do them. In Create, we're going to hold you accountable. In Create, we're going to help you figure out what you want, why you want it, and then every single week and throughout the week, you're going to be held accountable to achieving it. If you think you're okay and you don't need it, go for it. Then that's awesome. And I wish all of you all the best. At some point during the year, unfortunately, for many of us, it does stop. The momentum stops, and we need a little maybe kick in the pants. So get yourself an accountability partner, get yourself a coach, get yourself a mastermind group, whatever it is. Stay engaged with other business owners, because that's the other thing. Your friends, unless they're in business, your significant other, unless they're in business, don't get what you're going through.
Yeah, that's true.
You can love them and everything, but they don't get what you're going through until they do it. So surround yourself. These are just extra little tidbits. Surround yourself with other business owners, other, say like-minded people who can help support you. And there's power. There's a power. That's why I'm actually putting the training in a group format, because there's power in the group. It's not just me and you, right? It's the power of the group and ideas and strategies that worked for other people, that didn't work for other people, and encouragement along the way. So, guys, that's it. I've gone over time for all of you. So have yourself an amazing rest of the day.
Thank you.
Thank you. And again, guys, post in the chat any questions, any takeaways, and any questions about the Create program, just let me know. Reach out to me or post below, and we can have a discussion to see if it's the right program for you. Enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.